I'm not a big fan of Islam. I think that wearing a burqa is stupid and demeaning and all these things. Islam or dingo?
Islam and dingo sneaky?
Yeah.
Probably both.
Probably both. Dangerous?
Right. Probably both.
Probably both.
The dingo ate the baby. It turned out it did eat the baby.
If it ate a bloody Muslim baby, it would have vomited.
No, I don't actually agree with that
shit. I'm only joking.
But that's not funny. You're talking about fucking killing kids.
No, it's not
that's
funny.
crossing a line. There's a fucking line.
We'll edit this bit out. I never look bad in these interviews.
So Muhammad is considered the perfect man.
Right, yes.
Okay?
You can't draw a picture of it.
No, don't you dare. Don't you dare. I've got enough death threats on me, brother.
There he is.
Jesus Christ.
There he is. He looks like a wobbly ghost.
He's finally going to understand Islam after this shit comes out.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Drumr828, and I'm back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Mr. Jim Jefferies. I don't know if you're familiar with this guy. He's a stand-up comedian who apparently has his own show on Comedy Central, although it's the first I've ever heard of it, just because I don't watch TV. So apparently he just did a show where he covered an immigration issue going on in Australia, having to do with Muslims, and they related it to the whole shooting that just happened in New Zealand.
The New Zealand shooter left behind a detailed record of his anti-immigrant, anti-Muslim rhetoric. And unfortunately, these days, this kind of intolerance is being tolerated in more places than you might think. I was shocked to hear that the prick allegedly behind the Christchurch, New Zealand mass shootings is a white supremacist who grew up and was radicalised in Australia. So what is the situation down there? And what are the people who may have radicalised him saying?
And on the show, he had a pretty interesting interview with a guy named Avi Yemeni.
Anti-immigration fervour is uniting some strange groups. It turns out that the one thing that can bring together the alt-right and the Jew is their shared hatred of Muslims. Meet Jewish activist Avi Yemeni, a good Australian name.
Okay, so right off the bat, Jim Jefferies is claiming that this Jewish man that he's interviewing is affiliated with the alt-right. First of all, what even is the alt-right? I don't know. I don't know exactly how to specify it, but I do know what people categorize as the alt-right. At no time in the video do they ever demonstrate this claim that they just made, that this Jewish man is working with the alt-right. And it's just a statement randomly thrown out there. Just like every other time anybody's ever called alt-right, and they just dismiss, oh, he's alt-right. Oh, okay, Nazi. What the hell is going on? We've reached peak stupidity when people don't even stop to even scratch their head for a second and think, did that even make sense what he just said? Avi explains that before he even had the interview, that he had a list of demands, and one of them was like, do not associate me with Nazis or the alt-right. And that's exactly what they did immediately, as soon as the video starts. In their introduction of them, that's exactly what they do. This guy doesn't want anything to do with the alt-right.
Now, I agreed with two conditions. One, there'll be no neo-Nazi or Nazi sympathisers on the same segment, because I don't want to be aligned to them and I don't want to give them any legitimacy or anything like that. Common sense. The second one was that they don't cut my answers from one question and put it to another. Now, to my horror, but not my surprise, they did exactly both.
Now, what was interesting about the interview really wasn't the interview itself, because it's your run-of-the-mill television crap interview. What was interesting was Avi Yemeni's response to the episode the day after it aired. He posted a video up on YouTube kind of talking a little bit more about what had happened during this interview. And what was the most interesting thing about it is that he actually videotaped the entire thing, the entire interview himself. However, it appears that Jim Jefferies and everyone else on the staff were completely unaware that Avi had set up his little cell phone and recorded video of the entire interview, and he caught some really interesting things. Now, right off the bat, because Avi recorded his interview on his own phone, he was able to demonstrate and prove that they had taken questions that Jim was asking Avi and swapped out his response with another response that happened like hours later, in an effort to make the guy seem a little unhinged. They were basically picking and choosing what answers they wanted this Avi Yemeni guy to give using editing. They gave a completely dishonest representation of that interview that went down. They completely misrepresented the guy and did their best to make him out to be some kind of boogeyman. Now, I give Avi some credit here. He knew when he got asked for the interview. He talked about in his video that he was pretty sure they were going to set him up already. So before the interview started, he actually set up his cell phone and started recording video without anyone being aware of it. And holy shit, did that pay off. He actually shows how Jim Jefferies is when the camera's not on. You see, during the recording of the entire episode, he's very much on his high horse. He's pushing this whole, oh, dude, I can't believe you're so, intolerant of people and, you're not so inclusive. But as soon as the cameras go off and Jim thinks he can get away with it, we get to see a little taste of, what he really thinks, how he actually is, rather than the lie that he portrays himself as on television.
I'm not a big fan of Islam. I think that wearing a burqa is stupid and demeaning and all these things. Islam or dingo?
Islam and dingo sneaky?
Yeah.
Probably both.
Probably both. Dangerous?
Right. Probably both.
Probably both.
The dingo ate the baby. It turned out it did eat the baby.
If it ate a bloody Muslim baby, it would have vomited.
No, I don't actually agree with that
shit. I'm only joking.
But that's not funny. You're talking about fucking killing kids.
No, it's not
that's
funny.
crossing a line. There's a fucking line.
We'll edit this bit out. I never look bad in these interviews.
Oh no, Jim Jefferies, that's not very good. That almost sounds a little racist. What an absolute hypocrite. He's getting onto this guy, completely misrepresenting him, calling him alt-right racist, and then he proceeds to sit there when he thinks nobody's looking and talks about how he doesn't like Muslims. He draws Muhammad.
So Muhammad is considered the perfect man.
Right, yes.
Okay?
You can't draw a picture of it.
No, don't you dare. Don't you dare. I've got enough death threats on me, brother.
There he is.
Jesus Christ.
There he is. He looks like a wobbly ghost.
He's finally going to understand Islam after this shit comes out.
But when you walk around acting holier than thou art, it is so satisfying when reality slaps these people in the face. Jim Jefferies, man. Dude. You're a little racist, man. I am offended. Oh, justice. Justice is sweet. Now, all joking aside, let me be real for a second. I don't have a problem with anything that Jim Jefferies said or did in this interview, because I believe that in an open and free society, you can say or do anything you want as long as you're not causing physical harm to someone else around you. What I have a problem with is the hypocrisy that Jim Jefferies demonstrates right here for everybody to see. Acting one way in public and another in private is completely false. And I genuinely believe that Jim Jefferies deserves to be called out for this hypocrisy. But am I surprised that he's taken part in this? Absolutely not. It doesn't surprise me in the least. Jim Jefferies is only following the example set forth by media in the United States and honestly a bunch of other countries in the world too. They shove these social agendas down our throat, and anyone who's not willing to march with them lockstep is immediately discredited, called a Nazi, called alt-right, and it really doesn't matter what the truth is, at least to these people in the media. What matters to them is pushing their agenda and destroying anyone who gets in their way. I mean, if you just take a look around, I can only speak, in terms of here in America. No one trusts our media anymore. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. Everybody knows that the news lies. The media lies. And they don't think twice about doing it. I mean, this social agenda stuff, it started with the media. It's worked its way into entertainment as far as movies. Like, every movie is about some strong female character. Like, we get it. Even video games are chock filled with the social agenda crap. Does anybody remember Battlefield 5, that game that absolutely tanked? And the whole reason was because they left their format of trying to, make a game that correctly recounted history, and they decided to just start inventing stories. They made this whole story about a handicapped feminist that was running around supposedly in World War II, destroying Nazis, the whole platoons of Nazis, just one chick, and, just doing amazing stuff, man, except it's a complete fantasy and has no basis in reality. And people are just sick of it. You see it. You see it in the sales of anything that pushes this kind of stuff. There's a definite pushback to it. People have had enough, and we're tired of all of this just virtue signaling crap. Man, I tell you, I miss the 80s and the 90s when entertainment was just in your face, no apologies, the edgier the better. Like, movies were good. Like, there was cool stuff back then. And you look at it now, everything is so sterilized and safe and boring. I don't even understand how there is still an entertainment. It's on its way out. If you look at the state of Hollywood, if you look at the state of entertainment, if you look at the state of media, it's all collapsing. And it's all because they're completely dishonest and nobody's buying, literally no one's buying their bullshit anymore. Anyway, I just showed you a couple clips from Avi Yemeni's video. Please take a second to go check out his actual video. He's going to be uploading a series of videos surrounding this because he's got even more footage, and I'm going to be keeping tabs on it, and I think it'd be interesting, for anybody else who happened to get a kick out of this video. It's apparently not over, so go check out his channel. I'll put a link to it, and be sure to tell old Jim Jefferies what you think about him there. He's oh man, not the shining example of tolerance that he's pretending to be on TV, is he? All right, y'all, that's all I got for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Don't bullshit me. 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 I am so sick of this shit. Try me motherfucker and you gonna see what happens. Try me motherfucker and you gonna see what happens.